Hello and welcome back to the Cricket Nerds podcast. I am James. I'm joined by Benji and Zach, as per most of the time. And today we're going to be talking about broadly things cricket related. I want to kick us off with just something that kind of came up that I thought was quite interesting, and also I didn't like it. And this was some comments from the ICC, the International Cricket Council. Is that right?
Yep.
The chairman, Greg Barclay. So, someone very high up in international cricket. He said that, he basically said that he can't really see a future of women's test matches. He can't see that they're going to last very long. He can only really see women playing white ball matches going forward. And that's based on the fact that at the moment, it's only really three countries that play women's test matches regularly. And that is India, Australia, and England. And by regularly, I mean not very much, because they have fixtures quite few and far between. I think there's one that's going to be going on soon, but it's something that I thought was quite interesting, because obviously the women's game has kind of grown a lot recently, and we've had, like, I've watched a lot more women's matches, and I've been a lot more interested in the women's game since things like the 100, because it gave a bit more exposure to a lot of those female players, and it meant that I was following them more. I got to know them and became more interested that way. And I personally think it would be a shame for them to not go on to do the sort of pinnacle of the sport. I'd like to get your opinions on the comments made by this Craig, whatever his name was.
I think it's very disappointing. I think more so it's because there's not really the support and the infrastructure for that side of the game. So if you look at, in England, for example, in the men's tournament, you have the County Championship, which is a red ball format, the Blast, the ODIs, the List A, one day, what's it called?
Royal London One Day Cup.
That's it, Royal London One Day Cup. I got there eventually. Got there eventually. And you've also got the 100 too. So there's a lot of cricket there. Whereas in the women's game, there's sort of the county side of it, which is more focused on white ball, and then the Charlotte Edwards Trophy, which is again more of a, well, it's a T20 franchise tournament. So you're missing the domestic structure, and I think historically it's just not been in place. I think that's a massive shame, because there's some fantastic players in the women's game, and it's a shame that they're not being shown off at the highest level. Like, there's such a pool of talent there that just isn't getting to shine. And the fact that from the very top of the ICC, it's come out and said that, I think it's really bad. It shows you that having a committee of all middle-aged men is a pretty bad idea. I mean, next week, South Africa are playing a test match. It's the first time that they're playing a test match in 7 years. And it'll be England's third
women, that is.
Yeah, women's test match. And it'll be England's women's third test in just over a year after their series with India, and then multi-format series against Australia. So I think there's an onus on the governing bodies of each country to sort out the domestics before we can, get a regular good competition on the international level. I mean, Zach, I don't know what your thoughts are.
Well, the women's game works in a different way to the men's game in terms of how it's set out. And I think because they've almost started down this path, they'll continue down this path in terms of there's more franchise sorts of tournaments that the women take part in. Like you've got the competition in England, you've got the Big Bash, you've got they're going to start one in India. It's just slowly growing. So you've got that there. And I think that's kind of the way forward. And also when you've watched the England and Australia women's Ashes, it's very much they get points based on the matches, and the test matches worth more than the one-day matches and the T20 matches. And I think that's kind of the way they should run the international women's game, because that works for them, I guess. It's just the way that it's set up. It's hard to kind of revert back to what the men do, I guess. Not that they shouldn't, but I just think because they've started it's going to be hard to revert back. And so I just feel like they should do that with all the games. So England should organise a series against New Zealand women, and they play 3 one-day matches, 2 2020s, and then a test match to finish or something like that. And it's a big fixture every year. And then if they make that the priority, if they make maybe England women have their touring team per summer, then what will end up happening is everyone will be invested in the whole series, and everyone will be invested in the test match because it's got this greater weighting. And so, yeah, I think that is, for me, that's the way they should run it. But whether they do or not, well, according to this ICC bloke, they should just focus on T20, which is a massive shame, because test match tests you at the highest level. It is the highest level of the sport. And as much as 2020 is a lot of fun, the 100's a lot of fun, I would much rather watch a test match because of the level it's played at and how many different ways the game can turn within a test match. So yeah. But talking of test matches, there is a test match going on right now. England versus New Zealand. New Zealand being 225 for 5 after day one. James, how would you get out Daryl Mitchell?
I would review when you've got him out plum LBW. That would be my first step. So a couple of questionable decisions in the day, I think. Or you wait for him to hit the non-striker's bat because I just want to take, have a minute to talk about. I think was it Henry Nicholls?
Yeah,
who had. I think we can all agree the unluckiest dismissal any of us have ever seen. Absolutely creamed or middled it. Unfortunately, it was towards Daryl Mitchell, who can't stop middling the ball even when he's not facing. So the ball gets hit towards Daryl Mitchell, bounces off his bat, and is caught by Alex Lees without touching the ground. So, unfortunately, Henry Nicholls was out. I mean, obviously, as an England fan, I was surprised, delighted, and amused. But yeah, no, Daryl Mitchell and Tom Blundell causing England headaches again. That's kind of the summary of the day, really. I don't know what you think, Benj.
I noticed a definite miss. I don't know if you did too, but Ben Stokes hasn't bowled 1 over. And I think he's nursing that knee injury that he picked up at Trent Bridge, or trying to focus on bowling himself as more of an enforcer. I mean, day one of a test match, and the left arm spinners bowled 30 overs, and the part-time spinners bowled 7, because we only have 3 seamers without Ben Stokes. So I think he must be nursing that injury. And it's something that might potentially be a worry for England going into the India series, is that our balance very much hinges on Ben Stokes bowling, because he offers that 4th seam option. And then you're left with some part-time spinners. Like the test match batters of India will be able to put up, well, I would have thought they would have been able to put up with 3 seamers had it not been for India's lackluster performance against Leicestershire.
Oh yeah, you know what? Let's just segue straight into that. Zach, can you talk us through the absolute carnage that our new favourite player has wreaked on the Indian touring side?
Oh yeah, so this game is ridiculous, because I'm sure our Indian viewers would have seen it. And there's this guy called Roman Walker, who is a member of the Leicestershire cricket team. He's played 13 2020 matches. He's also played 2 50 over matches, but he's not played a single first class match. And he comes in against India and takes 5 for 24 in 11 overs, including not tail enders, including Rohit Sharma, the captain, Hanuma Vihari, who is experienced playing in England, Virat Kohli, which I don't know who he is, but he's obviously got him out, Ravindra Jadeja, and also Lord Shardul Thakur himself, to get his fifer. And what's crazy about that is Leicestershire also managed to pick Jasprit Bumrah. I don't know how they managed to swindle that at the start of the game, but he bowled 9 overs and got no wickets for 34 runs. So paled in comparison to Roman Walker. So Roman Walker for England, potentially, I don't know. But yeah,
I'd love to see it.
Roman Walker for India.
Roman Walker for
we'll
India,
take Bumrah. They can have Roman Walker.
Yeah. The only Indian batsman who did well is Striker Bharat, who we know from the IPL. He's played for Royal Challengers in the past and a few other teams. But yeah, it was when you're playing a warm-up match, what you want from your batsmen is for them to make 50, then retire and give the next person a go. And with your bowlers, you want them to take an early wicket, go for like 3 and over, and then have an early shower. That's kind of what you want. And India kind of failed in all aspects of that. Which isn't a great start for them. And I think they're kind of worried about this new Bazball that England are bringing in, because I think England, although, yes, they didn't get out Mitchell and Blundell, they did bowl very well. And I don't want to take that away from them. The first 2 sessions especially, Matt Potts, although he didn't take any wickets, he was the pick of the bowlers for me, and bowled very well. And Roman Walker is also the pick of the bowlers. He's the player of the day. Cricket player of the day. So there we go.
Nice.
It's interesting because not only have they picked up Jasprit Bumrah, but Leicestershire have also picked up Prashid Krishna, Rishabh Pant, and Cheshwar Pujara.
Pujara scored a century for them, won't he?
Yeah, so they've really picked up some strong players. I mean, we're joking; they're just there for the tour game, obviously.
I would have liked to have seen Rahan Ahmed bowl as well.
Yeah, that would have been good. My favourite thing about it is the fact that in the county championship, Division 2, lest we forget, but the divisions don't mean a whole lot at the moment. But in the county championship, Leicestershire have won approximately 0 matches out of the 8 games that they've played.
By approximately, you mean exactly 0 matches?
Yes, and they've lost 5 and drawn 3. So Leicestershire are in the worst possible red ball form, and so far they've been all over India. So worrying signs for India. However, there are glimmers of hope with people like KS Bharat. Somebody else that I just want to pitch to you guys that I was talking to Zach about him a bit earlier today. I cannot comprehend why he hasn't been given a chance in the Indian Test squad, because I think he's going to be the next big thing. I think he's the next like Tendulkar level batsman. Sarfaraz Khan. Okay. This guy in first class matches averages 80 with the bat at a strike rate of just shy of 80, I think. He also, in the last 3 years, has been averaging over 100. And every time I look at matches in the Ranji Trophy, of which the final is being played at the moment, and I think he scored another ton, he's always in the runs. So, you know, Zach, you floated a theory as to why he hasn't been picked.
Yeah, he's obviously a very talented batsman. We saw that when he first came into the IPL as like a 16, 17-year-old and scored like a 20 ball 40 in his first game. So he's obviously got the talent. He's got a good eye for the ball. However, my theory is due to when Ravi Shastri took over and Virat Kohli was well into his captaincy, they were quite tough in terms of fitness and the level of fitness you needed to play for the India team. And I'm not sure if Sarfaraz Khan is meeting those fitness levels. And that is my theory as to why he's not actually being picked. Because if you want to play for India, you've got to have good fitness. And that's kind of what the team is. And I don't think he is at that level. Because there are plenty of people who could have played for England over the years. I'm thinking someone like Samit Patel, who didn't get picked because of fitness. And so, yeah, I think that's a shame that they haven't been picked, but you can understand why.
Yeah, I get that. But also, the guy's turning up so many times that, like, you could afford to have a permanent backward square fielder.
Yeah.
And, like, also, he can't be that unfit if he's running between the wickets that many times in a day. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But there we go. I digress. Have we got any more cricket to be talking about, boys?
We didn't cover
No.
the end of the Netherlands-England series. Let's cover it.
Uh.
quickly. Let's cover it quickly.
Well, England B versus Netherlands B, in which England hammered Netherlands B.
Jason,
And
well,
3-0.
this was Netherlands A. This was Netherlands A played the last ODI because all the
Oh,
counter
yeah.
players came back.
Not all of them. They still didn't have Roloff van der Merwe or the other
Yeah.
guy.
That's
The
it.
other guy.
But Jason Roy is a really good batter. Phil Salt's a really good batter. Josh Butler's a really good batter. No, Owen Morgan's not. That's it.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for watching. That's our summary of cricket for the last some time. Let us know if you liked this slightly looser structure. We quite enjoyed it. And also send in your Cricket Nerds questions down below. The hashtag, if you've watched this far, is Cricket Nerds Questions, followed by a question. It can be about cricket, or it can be about the cricket nerds, or it can just be about general life advice. So yeah, leave them down. We really need some general life advice.
General life
So,
advice.
leave your comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe. We're on track for our goal of 330 subscribers. In fact, no, we want 333 for Chris Gale. So
Also, I'd like to finish the video by saying that stay tuned to the end when you will see a masterclass from your very own Benji about how to do the long barrier.
yes, a nice little surprise and delight feature.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers, everybody. Goodbye.
Down the leg side, and that'll be 4 more, 3 in a row. This time, I think it was a slower ball. I think the pace was taken.